Everybody's texting me. Yeah, we're doing it, Irene. Yes.
It's live.
We lit? Oh, we lit. It's viral.
You're live now. Here.
Ooh. Good job on the overlay, Eli. That shit's fire.
Okay, we're not live yet though.
You are.
Yeah, we are. We are. We live. We live. Um,
Uh, mm, we're
yeah.
not live.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's live.
No, we are. We live. We live.
It's live.
Live chat. Yeah, it looks great.
So
Everything looks
sign
good.
into chat.
You got to sign in. I see the live. I'm in the live right now, though.
Right, but I'm looking at our Brooklyn Projects live, and there's no
I'm looking at it too.
live stream.
It is. I'm looking at it.
Go to the link you posted.
Okay, let me go to the link I posted.
To refresh, maybe.
No,
Yeah,
it's
live.
fucking whatever.
You have to press the
It's live.
icon. Let me see.
Okay, I'm doing it right now. Here. Everybody's like, well, you know,
Technical difficulties, y'all. It's all good, man. You know, these podcasts are a lot of work, y'all. You know what I'm saying? It takes a lot of brain
Yes.
power to do this shit.
Okay, here we go.
We got the overlay cracking now. You know what I'm saying? The audio got to be on point.
Okay.
Shit. The video quality got to be on point. You know what I'm saying?
All right. Well,
looks
we're
good,
live
though.
now.
Yeah. Looks
I
way
can't
better.
see the chats.
You can?
See it right there. No.
No, it says sign into chat.
But you see that. You can see the chat.
Oh, I can see the chat. Yeah.
Yeah. Top chat. We're going to do live chat. Boom.
Okay, we're live. But why does it say sign into chat?
Because that's a browser that's not signed in.
All right. Well, we're good.
Yeah.
We're live.
We live. We got 5 people up in here. What's up, y'all? How y'all doing today, man? Everybody that's tuned in. What's up with y'all? What's going on? How y'all feeling today? Happy Thursday. How's the week been? What's up, Dom? What's going on?
You know, it's another day in paradise.
Absolutely. Another day alive is another day in paradise. You know what I'm saying?
Pretty much. Pretty much.
Absolutely.
I like the overlay that Elijah created.
It's great. Yeah, it's great.
It's pretty. It's really nice.
Mhm.
I like it.
Yeah.
But let's get it cracking.
Let's get it cracking. I definitely I got some things to
well,
talk about.
I said that I wanted you to set it off.
Yeah, I'm gonna set it off right. You know
so,
what I'm saying?
Yeah, so go ahead and set it off. You're going to be the leader of the show tonight.
Yeah. Yeah, so this is actually fresh on my mind because I made a post about it this morning, and I feel like it's something that holds a lot of people back. Creatives, it doesn't matter what industry you're in, but to keep it straightforward, the victim mentality and you know, being a prisoner of your own mind. Now, I feel like a lot of people make the mistake of holding themselves back by thinking things that are not real, you know, creating scenarios in their brain. And you know, everybody has a different process. Everybody feels differently, which, you know, I support. I support that, and I support that we're all humans, but I want people to really understand that we have the power to shape our own destiny, and what we think on a daily basis is very crucial to the outcome of our success or whatever we're trying to achieve in life. So, you know, people need I would encourage people to have more positive thoughts and be more optimistic on the outcome of things. And I know, again, we're all human, we're not robotic, and really trying to hone in and let you guys know, like, I'm on your side. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can be a victim of my thoughts as well, but I've over the years I've learned to train myself even when things aren't going the way I would like them to be. I like to still know that there's a brighter side, you know what I'm saying? And that helps me get through the day and get me through certain tasks, things that are really hard for me. So, you know, really don't hold yourself back, and just know that you do have the power to get out of any situation, because I've been in a lot of negative environments and a lot of bad situations. Um, and sometimes you crack, you know, in the midst of it all. And it's hard to think that way. But that's really like my my key thing, because man, social media doesn't help at all. We all, some of us might assume things that are not real about other people, um you know. And really where this came from was, seeing certain friends or family get frustrated when people, like their close people around them, aren't quote unquote supporting them. um my take on that is, I don't always think it's personal. Personally, I really don't think it's always personal. I believe that people have a lot of things going on in their lives. People are stressed out. You never know what's going on. People got to pay bills. People got life issues. It's not always about us. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think that we should subscribe to that to to that all the time, where it's like we're looking for the closest people. Like, of course we want our people around us to support, but like, God, the world is way bigger. Create what you're doing for the masses and not just strictly the people that are in your circle, because I feel like there's more people to cater to than just the ones directly around you. You know what I'm saying? And everybody has a different path. I ride bikes. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody that I know who wants to see bike content. I'm okay with that. Some people like music. Some people want to see fashion. They're not into bikes. I can't be mad at that. So
Well, I
that's my
mean,
2 cents on that. That's really my, that's how I wanted to kick it off. You know. So
oh, well, I'll say this. I mean, hearing you talk about it is I agree with you on a lot of things. It's like, I guess it's everybody's perspective on how we deal with things, like what you're dealing with right now. Um, but you know, uh, you know, it's hard to process so much when there's so much negativity out there.
hmm
You know what I mean? Like when you constantly, like, I make it a business now to not, doom scroll and all this stuff. And
right,
um because the stuff that you just see online getting fed to you, it's crazy how it just affects your mental.
right.
And but not even yeah, I guess your mental, your
No,
mood.
everything.
um but I had to, like, go into my um Instagram settings
hmm
to remove keywords
Right.
because I was getting fed so much nonsense and garbage. And it's crazy how, like, they I would never I never thought or would never think back in the day, like, how something as, as innocent as, social media. Well, let me take it back a bit. At first it was like MySpace.
hmm
And MySpace was fun, and we all had, it was great to market yourself, meet people, see things, and so on and so forth, push your brand. And then
Right.
came Twitter. And Twitter was that's where it kind of switched, because now you have real time um information being fed to you. And that's when the shit talking started. And that's when the you know what I mean, that's
Yeah.
when all the keyboard warrior generation started.
Right.
And but they big tech companies like Meta, they kind of like they've like created it. And it is like, it's like they feed you stuff to keep you, whatever. If you look at something more than 2 seconds, they're like, oh. And will drain your algorithm with this stuff.
hmm
And it makes you in a bad mood, and it really destroys you. I really believe
Yeah.
that.
It does.
um
Yeah.
and it's just amazing how, like, I vowed, and we've talked about this, me and you, that we would never talk politics, and I'm not going to talk politics. I'm just going to say this one thing.
Yeah.
I'm just going to reference politics for 1 second. But just like a couple of weeks ago, you know, the homie from the hills, Spencer Pratt, decides to run for mayor, and then anybody that knows him really knows him and can see it from a mile away. He's doing it for all the wrong reasons. So whatever, I spoke my 2 cents on that, and so many people, kind of friends, were kind of attacking me. They don't get it. And then my algorithm was just filled with stuff on him. And I'm
Mhm.
like, I don't want to see this dude and his like stupid memes and just nonsense. I don't want to see it. And until I changed it, it really was getting me in a bad mood. I was just angry. I was just
Yeah.
not happy. But it's you know, back to social media. It's something that has become we become so entwined in it,
Mhm.
yet we to say that, oh, to walk away from it and not have it part of our life anymore. You could do that, I think. Well, I know you can. There's actors and certain celebrities and so on.
Mhm.
They've walked away from it, but when you have a business, I think you need to be a part of it in some
Yeah.
way, shape, or form.
Agreed.
um I would love the days of, I thought about it, but it takes time and money, just to go back to having a blog, going to a website and just having kids just go to a blog and seeing what's up and so on and so forth. But I don't think the kids are, they're so what's the word I'm looking for? They're so like they've been
Like a low attention span or
well,
short short.
they have a short attention span, but they've been like groomed just to look at Instagram, not
Yeah.
really read a paragraph or like read a magazine or so on and
Mhm.
so forth. So
Right.
it
Yeah.
it sucks in that way. And yeah, there's something we could do, but it is what it is. Fuck it. We're here.
Mhm.
Um, Another thing is, let's to switch it up a little bit. It's Mother's Day this Sunday.
Yeah. It is. Shout out to all the moms, man.
Shout out to all the moms.
All the
Um,
moms, man.
moms, moms are the backbone of 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 every family, of whether it's a single household, a single person household, or a mom and dad. Moms always hold it down.
Mhm.
Um, Ray Corey, what up, dude?
What up, Corey? What's the deal, gang?
um,
Thank you for tuning in, brother.
yeah, so like yeah, like happy Mother's Day, man. Like
Yeah.
if
Happy
you're
Mother's
if
Day.
you're lucky enough to have your mom alive, I always tell people, like, be lucky that when your phone rings and you see that name tag, mom or dad or both, pick it up and enjoy it, because like somebody like me, I haven't had a dad. My dad passed away when I was 16.
Mhm.
So, cherish the time, and respect your mom, because at the end of the day, your mom is the one that birthed you, and she's the reason that you're here. And to all the single moms, my mom raised me when I was 16. That was a big ass handful for
Mhm.
her, let me tell you, when looking
Yeah.
back.
Yeah.
But I turned out semi okay. Um, but you know, but yeah, happy Mother's Day, man. If your mom, if you haven't talked to your mom in a while, make sure to call her up. Send her flowers, bring her flowers, make her feel special for that one this one. Well, you should make her feel special every day, but make her feel extra special on this special day, which is Mother's Day. That's all I
Yeah.
wanted to say.
Absolutely. Happy Mother's Day to the moms, man. To add to that, man, I want to share like a one thing that's obviously that's carried throughout my whole entire lifetime. And think about moms and having both parents. And again, um, what's really amazing is how a mom can be like really soft and loving, and you learn that at a
Hmm.
young age. And then you have, I understand you lost your dad when you were younger, so you might not have felt experienced this fully, but with my dad, he's very strict in a very a certain type of way, right? And then I have a
Hmm.
mom that's more lenient and more understanding and loving. And not that my dad isn't, but like I think that yin and yang definitely helps shape men and women, boys and girls all around the world, because you get a soft side and you have empathy for other people. And I feel like without a mom, you don't really learn maybe. No, and this is not everybody, but you learn more empathy and more love and compassion when you have that soft person, near you
Yeah,
and by your side. So
a-
that's one thing that's really beautiful.
absolutely. I mean, I think also personally, I think that I think when I see certain things on social media with how dudes, treat women, um, it makes me think like, damn, like, they didn't have a father that cared because the father didn't teach them how to like treat a woman, let alone their mother, or
Mhm,
your girlfriend, or their sister, or their wife, or their baby mama, whatever you want to call it.
mhm.
Um, but also like their mom, like it's like, do they treat their moms this way? Like it's like, the mom
Right.
is the most important thing. The mom teaches you how to, treat women. And you know what? You know what I say? Somebody said this a long time ago. I don't remember who, and I'm just gonna reference them what they said. But somebody said a long time ago, if you want to know how a man really is, you know, look at the way they treat their mother.
Mhm.
Whether they're
Absolutely.
18, 28, 38, 48, 58,
Doesn't
whatever,
matter.
it doesn't matter. But the way they treat their mother is the way they're going to treat you, as far as in a relationship.
Yeah,
How they treat their mother is how they're going to treat you. Um, and,
absolutely.
and that's an important thing. So this, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there.
Yep.
Um, and what else is on the agenda today, CJ, since you're at the helm of this thing?
Yeah, so I came across a really funny post today actually, and it was a fashion influencer.
Oh God.
He said, "Look, hear me out. It's so funny." He said that he was introducing Etnies as a vintage brand that a lot of us may not have ever heard of, and I felt offended because one, like, come on, bro, and look, now let me play devil's advocate in a little bit. I can understand that with the newer kids, they might not have, some of the younger kids might not have it. He's right to an extent, but it was, but Etnies was the one of the biggest brands in the universe. And for someone to say that is actually younger and to bring out their clothing like this is vintage, I mean, they're still, I'm pretty sure Eddie's is still making like new product, like they're still around, but to call it like, yeah, they have vintage stuff, but I thought that it caught me off guard, and it was so funny because I'm like, bro, you don't even know. Like, a lot of people actually definitely know about Etnies. All these companies know about Etnies. Like, people know about Etnies. You know what I'm saying? And that was one of the funniest things that I saw today. So I just want to bring that to the plate and get
I,
your opinion
I,
on that.
I, I'm at a loss for words,
Yeah.
actually, because um, I I guess in the grand scheme of things, I mean, Etnies is vintage. It's more retro, but they haven't gone
Mhm.
away. They've been around for over 40 years.
Yep.
I mean, in the realm of skate shoes, it was Vans in the 70s into 80s. Then in the 80s, it was Vans again, but it was also
Mhm.
Vision Streetwear and then Airwalk. But
Mhm.
then it was Etnies,
Mhm.
it was Duff's, it was Sheep, which was part of Etnies, I believe. And then came S,
Mhm.
and then, DC Shoes from Drawers, then came DC Shoes. Oh, and let me go back a couple of ones. It was Airwalk. Um, and
Damn,
then,
Airwalk.
yeah, Airwalk. Airwalk was in the 90s, like 91, 92 was Airwalk. And then it was same time it was Etnies. And then it just kept then DC. And there's a couple of dope skate shoe brands that I wish they would bring back. There was a couple of brands that there was a brand called Rex. I remember this Rex, RECS,
Mm-hmm.
and they were dope, but they didn't really think out the styles were dope. We used to sell it at Brooklyn House, and
Yeah.
the insole, the sole of the shoe had this like gel, almost like jello cushioning. It was
Mm-hmm.
great, super comfortable. Like you would never get a heel bruise. It was
Right.
so you could jump off a building and your heel was not feeling it. But the problem
Right.
was once you wore out the bottom of your sole, it would leak into the gel, and the gel would just crumble out.
Oh,
They
damn.
didn't think that through.
Right.
So that was one of the brands that was kind of dope. And then Castell. Castell was like one of my favorites. They had some of the illest designs. It was
Oh,
Kastel.
I gotta look this up. Hold on.
Oh, Castell
On the
shoes.
spot.
Oh my God. They had, I forgot the model, but that was like it was one of the hype brands. It played along lines of like the DC shoe, like the DC Deer
Oh,
Deck.
yeah.
Um, it was along those technical. It was dope. I tell you,
It's not.
man.
Yeah. Oh
And
yeah.
then yeah, and
Oh,
then you had
Steve Olsen. Steve Olsen was on Castell.
no, it was not OG. It wasn't OG Steve Olsen. It was Shorty Steve Olsen.
Oh,
There was two Steve Olsens.
okay. You gotta let me know about that. Okay.
So
For the
Steve Olsen, the one we know that comes here all the time, that lives across the street, OG Steve Olsen, Alex Olsen's dad,
yeah.
that was the OG. And then
Right.
there was Steve Olsen, who was he was I think he was from up north. Muska's homie. He was on Shorties.
Okay.
And he rode for Castell. And then we had like Vita shoes, which had Jason Dill.
Mhm.
Vita was really dope. They look like, if you Google that, they look like what kids are wearing now with the Solomons. It was like they ripped off a Merrell hiking shoe
Oh.
and they made the skate shoe, and that was like the cool thing was the Vita shoe at one point, and then DVS, of course, DVS with the Keenan
Yeah.
Miltons, but the hot skate
Yeah.
shoe in the '90s was the Sean Sheffy, in my opinion.
Okay.
And then it audio shoes, and then came Circa with the most expensive skate shoe on the market at the time, which was like $90, which was what the Muska shoe with
Yeah.
the metal with the zip pouch and the metal. They put metal on the shoe, which is crazy when you think about this now, but they had actual metal grating on the toe box so you could put weed on it and smoke weed out of your shoe.
Whoa.
Yeah, it
That's
was because
crazy.
back then, weed wasn't so like, you couldn't just go and smoke weed like we do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Of course.
Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, so those were some dope ass shoes, then came, Xavier, and then came Nike, and then Nike buried everybody,
Yeah.
and and then Adidas came, and then
Yeah.
New Balance and Converse and Vans is still just always placing third or fourth, and
Yeah.
here we are. But that's
Wow.
funny that Etnies is you know
Vintage.
vintage. Well, Super's vintage now, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, all right. I got another topic. This is a fun one, and I know you will have a lot of info, much more than me on this topic. Oh man, I'm so excited. All right. Chat, get ready. The
Get ready,
cro-
Ray Corey.
the crossover in the Tony Hawk's games with skateboarding and BMX, where Matt Hoffman was introduced into as a mini demo in Tony Hawk, and that whole era where it was merged as one pretty much, or at least it felt like that. I would love to talk more on that because that was an era that I experienced, but as a kid where I couldn't understand it. I was playing Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, and we had the mini game in Tony Hawk, and I was like, "What the hell? What?" It was Matt Hoffman. It was a Matt Hoffman made on the same engine, and I was like, "This is fucking fire." And when I was young. Oh, say
Yeah.
audio.
Yeah, it's on. That's all.
Hold on, y'all. I hear a little razzling.
Still on. It's
It's off now.
the light is on. Or is it? Is it off?
It's off, but I don't hear CJ anymore.
Test it. Well, I wasn't talking. You hear me
I
now?
hear you. Oh, good.
There we
Yeah, you're
go. Yeah,
good.
yeah. But pretty much I want to talk about that. How revolutionary was it at the time, since you were a little bit older than me, where
Huh.
skateboarding and BMX had that crossover, especially in mainstream. I mean, with Tony Hawk being, I mean, you know, at the that's like, how was that?
You know, I could say this. It was at first it wasn't like that. It was very, very like, BMXers really in the early 90s didn't get along with BMXers and skaters and so
Right.
on. Everybody was on their own thing. BMXers didn't get along with skaters didn't get along with rollerbladers didn't get along with BMXers.
Yeah.
They all coexisted in the same space, but they never, but I think in the 90s, late 90s, what happened was, um, I think well, I know he was the first rider. The first rider to break that wall was Robbie Morales. Shout out to Robbie
Mm,
Morales, Cult Bikes. He was the first um, BMXer. He was like the godfather of street riding.
ooh.
He was the godfather, the Manny King, the trail
Right.
boss. He was the street guy and he was the trail guy. You can't fuck with him. He
Right.
was the god. And
Robbie Morales.
he he was he got put on Zoo York. Zoo
Okay.
York fucked with him so hard because he's from New York and all that. They fucked him so hard. They put him on Zoo York, and at the time,
Yeah.
it was so unheard of. And I think he's the one that broke down the doors
Mhm.
for BMX to or skate to really accept BMX and vice versa.
Right.
Um, so when Matt Hoffman got down with Tony Hawk, I think that was because when Tony Hawk did his game, um, Activision, I believe, did the Matt
Yep.
Hoffman game,
Yeah. Activision. Yes, sir.
and so it was only fitting that they did they did a collab, so to speak.
Right.
And I love that personally.
Yeah.
And we sold BMX bikes at Brooklyn House in 98, 99, and half the people that bought them were skaters.
Yeah.
Eric Pupecki, Billy Valdez, Guy Mariano, Keenan Milton, Kareem
Mhm.
Campbell. They all bought BMX bikes from me.
Yeah.
They all wanted one, cruisers, just to bash around town on.
Yep.
But when that happened, that was really, really cool. And that was like what, 2002, 2003?
Mm.
When was that? When was that? When was the Tony Hawk one with Matt Hoffman?
Matt Hoffman, I bet that I'm pretty sure that was like 99.
No, wait,
That
wait. That was the Matt Hoffman game. But when did Matt
oh,
Hoffman do the collab when he was like a part of it? Wasn't he a part
bro,
of?
that was on PS1, bro. That had to be
Oh my god.
99.
Oh my
Yes.
god.
That
Yeah,
was on
yeah. Never mind.
that was
99,
it,
2000.
yeah, it was probably like 99, 2000. I can get the facts right now. I mean,
Elijah's already beaten you to it.
oh, thank you, Eli. I appreciate it. Please bring up the facts, but I guarantee you it's probably no more than 2000
Nah,
for sure.
So Matt Hoffman's game came out in 2001 that was made with Tony Hawk's Pro Skater engine.
So
Okay.
Matt Hoffman's game came out in 2001. It was made with the engine of
Okay.
Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, obviously.
Okay.
And
Okay.
when he
But
was in,
Hold on.
the
I think he was in a couple games though.
He's probably like 2002,
Yeah.
2003.
okay.
No, he was a character in Pro Skater 1.
Oh, Pro Skater 1. He was a character in Pro Skater 1.
which was
Ah, so
2000
so I
It was
do
99.
know
It
99.
was
I knew it.
2000?
99.
Oh,
99.
99.
I
So
knew it.
basically, you're right. So he was in a thing in 99, and that gave him enough whatever to go do a
So
standalone game.
so here's what they did. Activision, so Tony Hawk had his game, and for promotion, especially back in the day, that's how I know about the demo. The Matt Hoffman demo was in the first Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, and that was more of like, okay, this game is coming out. It was a promo. That's what it was. That's why it officially came out in 2001. That was 2 years later. It was just a promo. That's all it was. So that's how that's how it happened pretty much. So that's just crazy. And then Yeah, that's just a great piece of history there.
You know, I wanted to ask you something.
So he was
Yes.
also in Pro Skater 2, which came out on Nintendo 64, and he was in Pro Skater 4, and he was in Tony Hawk's American Wasteland.
He was in Pro
yeah,
Skater
everything.
2, 4, America. He was in
Yeah,
everything. Basically.
everything. That's fire. Yeah. Thanks, Eli. Shout out to Eli for the
Thank
fact.
you, Eli. Eli is our fact checker. He's our research. He's our cameraman. He's our director. He's our technical guy. He's our audio guy. He's our lighting guy. He's the chef. He
Yep.
is the janitor. He is everything and anything. He is the Svengali of all.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You know, but I want to ask you something.
Yes.
Step away this. What, I really want to ask you this honestly.
What's up?
What is really going on? And don't be biased right now. Okay, you gotta be take yourself out of.
All right.
I
got you. I'll give you my honest opinion.
Okay.
Always.
What is going on with this with bike life? Because from when I saw it like start, it started it started literally 20 years ago, honestly, when Todd did the PK, the SC Flowable Flyers 24s, and he started doing all the collabs, and he did the 26-inch and 29-inch, and then it really picked off with you guys, the Goons, and the fucking Block Boy fame, you, Compton Drew, all that.
Let me correct you real quick.
Go ahead, correct.
Just for a history thing, so because people are going to tune into this, Bike Life really started. Well, you're right. Bike life as a term actually started in Baltimore. That's really the dirt. That's the dirt bike capital of the world, and it transitioned into it's east. It's Baltimore, then it goes to New York, Philly, all, East Coast. So I can go on a whole spill, but continue. Just to correct you, because people are gonna.
Sorry.
Yeah, no. We have a big part as far as California goes. Yes, we definitely have a big part on the pedal bike side. Yes, 100%. It's undeniable. But just from a historical standpoint, Baltimore.
Well, I remember seeing the guys in Queens, New York.
Yeah.
And Baltimore.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess the culture, like where it was, what it was to what it is now, it's just something that I don't know, how it went awry. And the reason I say this is this. I was talking shout out to my boy Glenn Milligan, PP Milligan. Glenn used to do these bike rides in the 90s.
Yeah.
Right? With BMX bikes.
Mm-hmm.
And we used to mash out throughout Manhattan. I'm talking 90, 100 kids deep. We would go out at night, hit spots and just ride, let's just go crazy.
Right.
But we never aside from grinding some, public buildings or office buildings or jumping down stairs or hitting a lip, we never, block traffic or, cut people off, just acting like assholes. And but even still, like back when the bike life craze started, it was so dope. And one bad apple spoils the bunch. But now when I look at certain things, it's just like I like recently, a couple of weeks ago, and I rolled down my window and actually said something because I'm like, I had to check these kids.
Yeah.
But I was driving and there was a bunch of them, probably 15, 20. Right?
Yeah.
And I was just, and they were just taking up the whole thing, acting, like idiots. And eventually I just pulled alongside them. I went on the wrong side of the road.
Mm-hmm.
And, I was like, yo, man, I respect what y'all were doing. I love it. But, when you see cars, man, just pull up, go to the side a little bit. And they're like, oh, fuck you. I'm like, man, you fucking bunch of goofies.
Hold on, real quick. Yeah, it's lagging really bad, Eli.
Yeah, I see it. It's at 100 kilobytes per second.
Okay.
What happened, CJ?
It's probably just the internet. You know how it fluctuates.
I got good internet, homie.
It's plugged into the Ethernet, but it's only getting low. For some reason, this is only getting.
Well, You can't hear us, CJ?
No, I can hear you guys perfectly.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's the
But
video.
back to what I was saying. So just so we can,
Okay.
'cause
Yeah. No. Go ahead.
we'll end it on just your thoughts on that because
I will. I would love to give you that opinion. No problem.
I see what you do,
Mm-hmm.
and what you do is all about community.
Yeah.
Um, but I just don't understand it. Like I don't understand why. I just don't understand why the act the way they act because it's just going to make it harder for everybody else. Like you have a good thing going. Like it's just a little common courtesy. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? It's not
Yeah.
like it goes to like you know what I say this jokingly. I this is like the this is how I kind of like associate both of them. It's like when you're in a supermarket, like say you and your homie on a supermarket with two carts and you're down the middle of the aisle and you
Mm-hmm.
see somebody coming towards you. You don't just keep on going. You're like, oh, let me.
Right.
One of you guys is going to go. Let me go behind you, and let the other
Yeah.
person pass.
Facts. Facts.
The way these kids do a lot of them, they just and then going into 7-Elevens and just robbing them. It's
Yeah.
just annoying because that's why like 7-Eleven in my neighborhood is closing up because why? Because oh they got hit too many times and this and that, blah blah blah. I'm like,
Yeah.
well, you're just making it bad for everybody else, man. You know what I mean? Like, what are you doing? So I'm asking you, like, when did this turn? Like, was it a certain faction that kind of like took it over and made it what it is, or it's just a few bad apples?
So, one, yes. Two, I believe that it's gotten worse since COVID.
Hmm,
Weirdly enough, because before when we were throwing our ride outs, yes, we had a lot of people on the streets in
a
LA.
lot.
Tons of people. Now, I will say this: at a certain point, it gets to being so many people that it's literally impossible for everybody to get to the right side. But what we do is we do try our best as leaders to tell everybody to get to the right. And in our videos, or even or whenever we were, before at the beginning of the ride outs, we let people know that we don't want any issues. We want everybody to be safe. We know that parents are there with their kids. A lot of parents come to our rides, and that shows that they trust us and they love us and they love what we're doing. But at the same time, we want to keep in mind to make sure that these young kids are safe. So we always advocate for people to get to the right side of the lane. Now, what it is mostly the younger kids, they sometimes may feel like they don't need to listen, or
Hmm.
they're just so happy and excited that they just do whatever they want. And unfortunately, it is hard to control everybody. We try our best to do that. But there's just some people who mess it up for everybody else. Now the kids with the gas stations and the 7-Elevens, those are not our people, and that is not a representation of bike life and what we stand for. We all know that those people are we don't even like those people at our ride outs. We'll ban them from our rides. I don't hang with those people. I don't talk to those people. I hate what they're doing because again, no matter how much good we do in the community, there's always going to be those few people that make us look bad. And that's the stuff that goes viral. You know what I'm saying? That's the stuff that makes people look like, oh shit, well, we hate these bikers. We don't want them. Arrest them all, whatever. And, it sucks, man. But it's like in any industry, there's always those few people that just make it bad for everybody. So the only thing that we can do is at our rides is make sure that we're continuing to talk to people. And here's the thing about our rides: the people who attend our rides, for the most part, everybody does respect us and they respect the ride. Again, it's just it might be new people, or yeah, people for the first time, or people with their groups of friends thinking that they need to show out and they just feel like they don't need to listen.
Right.
And those are the ones, unfortunately, that are, making it bad for us. But here's one thing I will tell you: when it comes to these ride outs, when it comes to me and my peoples, my whole crew, if we see anybody stealing or messing with cars, or swerving pedestrians, we get on the ass immediately. We let them know, yo, this is not the ride to do that. We don't do that. We let them
Okay.
know immediately, and we let that be known. So now here's another thing. Let me add to it as well. Hold on, are you speaking? Because
No, no, I'm listening to you.
you're listening. Okay, it's still
I'm
listening.
all ears.
Okay. here's another thing too. Now, some of these kids before COVID, the main people that were throwing ride outs were the big dogs. And I say the big dogs like us, you know, the Two Wheel Gang, and then there's bike crews where there's older people that are leading these rides. And those were the pretty much the and solidified people were the only ones that were throwing the rides. That was one thing that kept it contained because okay, if you wanted to go to a ride out, you have to go to our ride out, or you have to drive 100 miles this way to go to their ride out in a different city or whatever. Now everybody is throwing their own ride outs. Every little kid, this 15-year-old kid from Joe Schmo, wherever, can get his homies, make a post, and a bunch of people will come out. And those are all the kids that don't have any leadership. It's just a bunch of kids and
Got
kids
it.
going around, and those are the ones that are making it really bad. You know what I'm saying? It's a bunch of 15-year-old kids, 16-year-old kids that are doing whatever the hell they want. They're cussing at cars, they're swerving people, they're running into people, they're stealing from stores, they're recording it, they're fighting. Those are the people. And look, I don't want to be that guy. I'm not trying to talk down on the youth, guys. I will never do that. But we have to be honest here. You know what I'm saying? Like I was there when I was young and doing dumb stuff. I understand it, right? We all were. We all do dumb stuff, but it's still my job as I get older to lead the youth in the correct direction because I don't want you guys to end up in jail or killed because you messed with the wrong person's car. A lot of these people out here are not playing. They're not. You can't just walk up to every car and demand to fight. You're gonna some people you're gonna get exactly what you ask for, and we do not want that. We do not wish that, but these are the realities of your your choices. So um that's kind of what I'll say to everything you said, Dom. You know what I'm saying? Just know that me and my people, we have literally here and I'm a flex for y'all real quick. Everybody that's watching and everybody and all these kids, just so y'all know, the reason why these companies are sponsoring us and flying us places and giving us product is because we're doing the right thing. They see our content. There's no reason that any of these companies that rock with us would be rocking with us if we weren't doing the right thing. Where we have a bunch of names on our flyers, all these companies, and again, we are a direct representation of those brands, so we try our best. Well, we do the right thing, but we just can't control these little fuckheads. Sorry for my
Yeah.
my profanity.
Mm.
We can't control these little assholes, on everything. So that's what it is.
Yeah. It goes back
Yeah,
to, we'll end it at that. It goes back to like the family thing, the structure, the moms, the
yeah,
dads, because, I'm
right,
surprised that when the kids were on camera on news, like robbing places, I would expect, a lot of the parents to be like, what the hell are you doing? You know what I
right,
mean?
right.
So, but
I yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's fuzzing a little bit. I don't know where. I don't. I actually really want to know. Oh, hold on. We'll fix this in a second, y'all. I'll wait till he comes back. But what I'll say, y'all, is I think that I really don't know if these parents know their
what's
kids
really going on?
wherever.
Yeah.
Yeah, at like 24/7. Oh, you okay? So you still are on here? Yeah, I don't know if we know that. What if they know that what their kids are doing 24/7? You know what I'm saying? Because honestly, when I was out doing my little dumb stuff, there's little things that I did that my parents definitely never found out about. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
of
Like,
course. Of course.
I've never, and I'm not gonna say never, but no, honestly, I haven't gotten in trouble to the point where my dad had to come to the station because I was like stealing from stores. The first time I got caught stealing, I remember I was in Rite Aid and I stole a Hot Wheel. And the security literally the security came up to my dad and let them know that I stole a candy bar. And you know what happened? I got home, I got my ass whooped, and from that day forward, I was like, you know what? I'm actually not gonna I'm not doing that again. And I learned, and I probably made a few more mistakes after that, but still, like I learned, I got, you know, I got in trouble for that. So I don't know, man. I I don't know if these parents really know exactly what their kids are doing or what they're posting, but
By
yeah.
by the way,
One second. What?
It's all messed up. I think we should just end it now. It's all messed up. Let's just end it now. We'll come back next week. We'll get our shit fixed out.
Okay.
It's a
Oh,
wrap.
good. It was a good,
It's a wrap.
The good
run.
one.
Yeah.
The
well,
good
goody.
one.
I
All right.
appreciate everybody for tuning in, y'all.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This is a great
Yeah.
discussion.
Yep. We'll figure it out.